Hello nieces, hello nephew, it's your Uncle Charles here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased technical analysis. So that sound good to you? Please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell. It would mean a lot. And guys, guess what? Uncle Charles had a red day today. All right, I am glad to tell you guys Uncle Charles had a red day today. We're going to talk about that and more. But first, here is the flow sentiment. It is once again bearish. Put flow 79%, calls 21%, filter for 500k premiums or above. Seeing a lot of out the money puts still coming in for that August 19th date as well as the September 16th date. All right, big money is still bearish to the downside. All right, let's check out the dark pools now. Very interesting level. All right, most of the activity came around 392.51ish with 1.3 billion in premium. A lot of activity at that level, and it did serve as a nice support level intraday. Okay, so when I look at these dark pool levels, I just use them as a support and resistant level, and it's really critical, especially when it aligns with my own support and resistant level. Doesn't usually happen, but it happens from time to time. Okay, so 392.5, interesting level. Yeah, we're gonna move on to my Discord. Okay, this is my Discord where I write all my plans, strategies, commentaries, all my best technical analysis. All right, so here was the bull case and the bear case. Okay, I always have two plans so we can be prepared. All right, my bull case came in two parts, and pretty much the first part is if SPY decides to pull back, I want to see if it back tests the breakout level of the triangle pattern as a support. I would probably look to enter calls there to play my back test and go strategy. If you don't know about the back test and go strategy, please check out the link in the description below. I made a video about it. Check it out. Give it a like. Appreciate it. Okay. And then the second part of the bull case is, as always, we look for calls when a resistance clears. All right. I wrote here, I have next resistance at 393. SPY needs to avoid a double top setup because there was a double top there. Clear that level, put in 394, 395.7-ish, and upper targets in play. Okay, look for calls when a resistant level breaks out. All right, and in the bear case scenarios, obviously, if we were below 393, I would have looked for puts. If 391.5-ish, that's around where the 50-day moving averages, I would have looked for puts. If that failed and target 390, then the breakout level of the triangle pattern. Okay, so, cool to say that we didn't have to deal with the bear case today. Was mostly the bull case. All right, keep in mind, I just want to say I was not around this morning, so I had to do some personal stuff with with my family. But before I did, I left this plan. Hopefully my members was able to read it and found some value in it and was able to make profitable off it. Okay, so most of the day, that's the daily chart. This 15-minute chart, I did not trade because, as you can see here, if I was trading, the plan was calls above 393. You can see here it cleared 393. Good level to level play all the way up to, it went as high as 395.94ish on this first move up before giving us this false breakout over here. But that was a nice level move. We would have made some decent money on calls if you caught that move and followed Uncle Charles' plan. Then in the midday, we had another false breakout, very bearish. Back test as a resistant, boom, push all the way down. Nice level to level move. Went as low as 392.5. As you look at that, bunch of tests at that level. Check the dark pool orders. That's where a lot of those institutions were accumulating, apparently. All right. So here's where Uncle Charles did trade. By the time Uncle did got back from his personal business, I tried to enter calls at this 130 candle right here on the 15-minute chart. I saw 393 get recaptured. I was like, okay. It looked like 394 is going to recapture. I jumped the gun a bit because, as you can see, 394 didn't get recaptured here. It actually closed just below it. So what did I do wrong? I entered calls at a resistant level. I entered calls and jumped the gun. Okay, or I jumped the gun, then entered calls. Okay, big mistake. So when I saw that it did not close above 394, I simply cut my loss right there. And that's the only trade I took for the rest of the day. Honestly, I just wasn't in trading mode. So ended the day red. I had a red day. Awesome, guys. Yeah. Anyways, so let's go to the daily chart. You can see here we had the breakout of the triangle pattern. All right. And today closed even higher and we didn't get a false breakout, anything like that. Okay. So SPY showed follow through. Now I have this pink line here. I did not talk about this yesterday, But it's a multi-year trend line that I got, okay? Multi-year trend line that connects way back all the way to the June 15 and June 29, 2020 low. And it connect multiple times here at May 12th, May 24th, and almost the June 10, 2022 low. Also, you can see here clearly that around late June, this level or this trend line was tested as a resistance and where it rejected. Okay, so clearly this multi-year trend line is a thing. The market recognized it, and we should recognize it as well because SPY was able to close above it around 394. Okay, so as long as above 394, I will stay bullish. And I favor more upside, possibly the next one around 397.3-ish, and maybe the gap fill around 401.5-ish. Okay, we still got to watch out for a false breakout. So if SPY does drop back below 394, which can happen, and it's possible, you can play that false breakout scenario. All right, look for puts, and then you can play it level to level like I do. I have, what level do I have? Around 393, 391.5-ish, but that level is actually based on the 50 DMA. 50-day moving average, and the 50-day moving average is now at 391.15, so keep that in mind. Okay, below 394 is bearish. That puts 393, the 50-day moving average, at 391.15, 390, and then the breakout level of the triangle pattern around 387.8-ish. Below 387.8-ish, get bearish, guys. Why? Because that is a false breakout of this triangle pattern. We could see more downside. Okay, I'm gonna keep it that simple for you guys. Above 394 is bullish. All right, 397.3.4-ish, and then 401.5-ish for the gap fill are my targets. Below 394 is bearish. That's a false breakout. Okay, and false breakout could be possible, and that would put 393. All right, 393 is this back in this high back on June 28. Okay, and then the 50-day moving average, and then that 390 level. Now, if you're wondering, where's the 390 level coming from? Well, I'm going to show you right now. That's based on my fib levels. Right here. Got to move it a little lower. Boom, perfect. Okay, so that's the 390 level is based on my fib level, 23.6 retracement level. Okay, guys, and then below that is back to the triangle pattern here. All right, 387.7, 6-ish, 7-ish. And if that falls below, that's false breakout, and that's your cue to start getting bearish and looking for puts. All right, I hope the plan made sense, guys. Comment below if I missed anything, or if something didn't make sense, you want me to clarify something. And as you can see here, the VIX continue to be bearish. All right, it closed lower than yesterday's candle, and I do have a support here at 23.78 based on a previous low back on June 8th, and also this little channel that I got here. All right, so 23.78 failed. That's another breakdown for VIX, very bearish, and that's a sign could be bullish for the SPY. All right, for me to be bullish on VIX again, it needs to recapture a previous resistance level. Okay, so I do have a critical one at 25.4 ish, but there is a previous low right here that I will look at and pay attention to around 24.40 through, what is that, 0.45. Okay, so it needs to recapture 24.45, especially 25.4 to be bullish again. All right, QQQ absolutely bullish, broke out of the triangle pattern yesterday, showed much more follow through, gap is filled. All right, we came through a previous low right here that I looked at as a resistant. We closed above that around, what's that level? 302.3-ish. Okay, we closed above that. So as long as that holds, I do have a price target all the way up at 308.3-ish. Okay, if that fails, look for puts. That's a false breakout. 299.4. 296.7, 295 would be back in play. Okay, now the critical level is 296.78. If QQQ decides to pull back, that's fine. But if it does close below 296.78, that's a false breakout of this triangle pattern and very, very bearish. Okay, Now, I said SPY, it could possibly have a false breakout of that 394 level. The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm looking at triple Q. Triple Q on the daily chart is overbought on the RSI 7. Okay? Overbought, and it barely broke out of a breakout level, of a resistant level. Okay, just keep that in mind. I'm not saying to be bearish for tomorrow, and RSI and overbought is not a sell signal, but it is a condition that we need to pay attention to. Okay, because usually that is a bearish condition. All right, so we gotta let the price action guide us. That means watch that support at 302.3. If that fails, that's your sign. Or if it opens below that, that's resistant. If it rejects, that's your sign to be bearish. Okay, the best time to look for puts is when a support fails. Dow Jones, not quite an overbought, but it did show follow through. We got the breakout yesterday of this multi-month blue trend line. All right, still got the gap at 322.9ish. We'll see if it fails. 322.9ish with 324.7 is resistant above that. Okay, I got some support at 316.42. If that fails, 312.3 is back in play, and below that could be a false breakout of this multi-month trend line. Okay, guys, IWM is very bullish, just breaking out level after level, and it did clear and close above this 180.78 resistant. However, RSI is getting overbought, so be careful. Watch for a false breakout. Okay, don't try to call the top. Just try your best to look for puts when a support fails. All right. So 180.78. If that fails, 178.4 and then 175.12 back in play based on this triangle pattern. Below that is a false breakout. Also pay attention to this orange multi-month trend line. Okay, very critical that holds 178 let's say 178.5ish. Okay, 170.5. Below that, that's a false breakout as well. Apple finally got the breakout of this rising channel that I got. So for tomorrow, support is 151.73. It's actually below that in the after hours, so not a good sign. Okay, it needs to be above 151.73 for this breakout to hold. 154 and then 156.5, and above that 160 is in play. All right, if it falls back below 151.7, that's a false breakout. 150, 148, then 145 is back in play. We get back right back in this rising trend line. Sorry about that. And Tesla, holy moly, crazy after hour, just reported earnings. Looking good. Earning reported 2.7, estimate 1 point. Oh, doing better than expected. Earning look pretty decent for Tesla. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. However, I don't go by that stuff. I just go by technical analysis. And as you can see here, Tesla held the breakout of this triangle pattern. All right, I was only bullish below 727, which would have ended up being a false breakout. However, look at it held, and it went and tested that 752 level that I keep mentioning. It actually went to 751.99, 1 cent shy. However, it did break above that in the aftermarket, but anything having aftermarket, okay, the most important price action to me is the one that happened during the trading hour. All right, guys, so that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please, if you guys like Uncle Charles' technical analysis on YouTube, consider joining my Discord. I think you guys will love it. All right, peace.